It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Wednesday, December 13th, 2017. It's 7 a.m. and welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host.
I'm here with cold.
Huh?
It's cold.
It's cold. I'm here with Frozen Scooter over here.
It's cold.
And Jerry Hogan. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hope your Wednesday morning's off to a great start.
It's cold.
It's cold.
I'll reiterate what Scooter
It's
said.
December. I think we're spoiled with this warmer weather.
No, it's actually bone-chilling cold today.
Really?
Because the steering wheel never heated up all the way into work today.
You got a heated steering wheel?
No, I don't. Here's my heater.
I started to say.
It did not heat up today.
Ooh.
That's the problem.
that's
He
cold.
doesn't have a heated steering wheel.
Dude,
That's terrible.
I got standard and roll-down windows, too.
Really?
Love every bit
Oh,
of
yeah.
it.
Who in the world doesn't have a standard heated steering wheel anymore?
Well, I specifically requested it because I didn't want them.
Well, Jerry, you just build your little campfire in the floor of that truck and light that thing, and it'll heat that steering wheel right up.
Oh, no. I just run copper hose off my exhaust. Just slip that in my sock, and everything's fine.
Just think, you could use that to heat your biscuit and gravy
Oh,
up while you're
yeah.
driving in the
Keep that
morning.
Tabasco sauce, the
It's
hot
got to
sauce.
come fresh out of the kitchen, man.
Hey, we're all enjoying Brewed Awakening Coffee here on Down on the Corner. You can do the same thing as you heard Jacqueline say in the introduction. 3 locations to serve you. BRMC Lobby, 62 East Plaza by Walmart, out in front of Anytime Fitness. And, what did I miss? Balmer Boulevard.
Balmer Boulevard.
That is I talked to Mike the other day, and that's a busy location.
It's right there on the corner.
Easy in and easy out.
62
Well,
and Balmer Boulevard, just right there in that parking lot. And you just drive right through.
and if you've never had Brewed Awakening Coffee, you've never had real coffee, right?
Now, do a lot of kids get coffee there
Oh, yeah.
before they go
Oh,
to
yeah.
school? Oh, Lord.
Don't you know?
Yeah, kids going to school.
Cinnamon rolls, coffee buns.
Coffee doesn't affect me. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Coffee never bothers me at all. I mean, the kids are just completely calm and quiet when they get there. And
120 words a second.
No, coffee don't affect him at all.
at least they don't get Dale coffee.
Yeah,
School,
that's right.
The school would be calling us.
Yeah, they better stay at those 3 locations.
Are you saying my coffee's a bit stiff?
Hey, if you do not understand what we are talking about, please stop by and try some of Dale's coffee. Now, unfortunately, you got to bring your own sweet and low because he never
I
remembers
keep forgetting
that.
to buy sweet low.
And sign a waiver.
And sign off.
Might want to bring a razor because after my coffee, you got to shave your nose and stuff. It'll put hair on your nose. You know.
There's just something wrong with you guys.
Be sure to check out Brewed Awakening Coffee, 3 locations to serve you. And the morning prayer to be brought to you here in a few days by Roller Funeral Homes of North Central Arkansas.
Yeah.
And very pleased to have that endorsement there and that group come on board here on Down on the Corner. Let's pause now for the morning prayer. Heavenly Father, the Senate election is finally over in Alabama, and the winner claims integrity has won. Well, perhaps it has, but we'll see. Lord, I pray that all these accusations, if false, stop. It seems to focus on possible misconduct 25 to 40 years ago with everybody they point fingers at. If there's solid evidence, that's one thing, but fake reports, fake news, and destroying people must stop. Lord, we the people have a voice, and let our voice be heard, that we're tired of false and fake news. And that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Anyway, it's over
Looks
in
like
Alabama.
We got somebody sneaking in the door over here.
Yep.
Hi.
There's our guest walking in the door. Be on here in just a few minutes. We'll have Dr. Lewis here on in a few minutes.
Awesome.
It's over in Alabama.
It's
Good.
over.
Yeah.
Good. Like I say, it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, it
Well,
is.
they made it a big deal, didn't
They
they?
made it a big deal, but
When
I
you
don't
get-
know if I could have stood every day chatter, accusing him of pedophile and all that other stuff. So
Well, we'll
it
see.
is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. I hope it runs its course.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's got to get old after a while.
Well, you know, we hear about this false news, fake news, whatever. I was watching Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and that she talks about, and she's pointing her finger and says, you guys need to report the truth. And one guy said, well, what area are you talking about in particular? So what about the guy from ABC News who's been suspended for 5 weeks?
Yep.
Because he made up a story. They're making it up, and they admit it. Look at Brian Williams. He went away from NBC News because he lied. And then you got Matt Lauer on NBC's Today Show, been there for 20 years. He's fired because of misconduct.
Yep.
Anyway.
Pitiful, man.
It is. I mean,
it's hard to dispel a negative.
Yeah.
If you throw a
and I've said
negative
this
on
before.
somebody, even if it's not true, you've already stained their reputation.
You tarnished it. I mean, it's hard to come back from that.
You know, it's like, I was talking with Herman Cain years ago. He was a presidential candidate, and I think we're either in North Little Rock or Washington. And I asked him about this, and we've talked about this even this week on the show. Whether or not, he says, whether or not I'm guilty across the nation.
Oh, yeah.
He says, just the accusation sets in because, oops, there's that possibility the whole country thinks you're guilty. There's no evidence, there's nothing to back it up, but yet you're guilty.
Yep.
And they know that your opponent, if they can just slide that under the door, they've got you tagged. I think that's what's happening in Alabama.
Yep.
I want to see the evidence against candidate Moore. If there's solid evidence,
It shouldn't be a problem.
there shouldn't be a problem.
And he should fight it.
But
If
it's always
not
funny.
there, he
Why does it
should.
always, these guys, I announced for the U.S. Senate, blah, 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 blah. 3 or 4 months before the election, and then it gets close to the election, and, oh, guess what we found?
40 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, local weather brought to you by your local Sears. I went to Sears yesterday.
I did not. And
Shame on you.
unfortunately,
Terrible,
I did not.
terrible.
I didn't. I wanted to, and I saw somebody put a post to the battery.
She sold
That
it.
was me.
It sold.
Yeah, I figured. That was a good price on a battery.
But I'm standing there in the tool aisle, and I'm looking, and all of the good prices are on top quality mechanics tools. I thought, I could use that and that and that,
Yep.
It's just, which one do I take,
Well, today they have a very merry Santa sale.
Really?
You can save extra 5% on almost anything in the store, and $5 goes to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
There you go.
So
Awesome.
And that's the advantage of your local Sears store.
they can do that without getting permission.
You bet. 30 degrees in Mount Home, 31 at Harrison, 28 at Hardy. Mount View checks in at 21, 28 at Yellville, 21 in Marshall. It's 27 in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, 39 showing up in Branson, 32 at West Plains, Calico Rock at 30. Ready for that radar?
You bet.
Well, the north is getting it again. Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Lake Michigan getting a little bit. Looks like a little bit of, I'm going to highlight Chicago. Looks like we're getting a little bit of precip there in Chicago.
Okay.
Take that Chicago, a little bit east of there. It's already over past Gary, Indiana. And so you can see it there on the radar. That Lake Michigan and stuff like that getting a little bit of precip, but for the rest of the country, I'm going back to that main
You got it.
picture there. There's your entire radar for the United States. It's a little bit showing up in Maine right now, but sure not helping our drought in Arkansas, is it?
No, and that keeps us under that burn ban. We're going to remain under it. Guys, it is illegal to start a fire outside right now, period.
Yeah.
Watch where you're throwing your cigarette butts. Watch bush hogging. And I don't know that sounds sad, but I mentioned this yesterday that I know somebody that actually the bush hog hit a rock and started a fire.
Yep,
And
it'll happen.
you just got, right now we got to be so careful because especially when it gets cold, humidity levels have dropped. It's so dry out there already. I mean, it'll burn
Okay,
quick.
place your bets, folks. Place your bets. Where do you think humidity and dew point is right now? I'm going to check KY3's. If you don't have that app, it's a good app. KY3.
KY3.
Yeah, good folks, good app. What do you think? What do you think the dew point is? I'm going to say dew point somewhere around 29.
Now, I'm going
I'm
to say
guessing.
a little lower.
Really?
Yeah.
Jerry?
I'll go 25.
Ooh.
Wasn't nothing out there today. I'll say -10.
The dew point at 17.
Ooh. That puts me closest.
Yeah. Wow. A dew point humidity.
In your face, Jerry.
Humidity 57% with a dew point of 17.
Yeah, that's not good.
Let's put that in perspective. If you had a dew point, say, of 60, if it were possible, if we had the moisture coming in off of the Gulf or even out of the Pacific across the lower tier states, it'd be bigger chance of showers.
Yep.
But with that high pressure sitting off of California right now that's triggering the winds, making the fire that much worse, it's just...
Okay, Dale, we're going to hold you to this. We're looking for a prediction. Are we going to have snow at Christmas?
You know, I was watching Ron Hurst on Channel 3 last night on the 6 o'clock news, and the models are indicating that this area could get some form of precip around Christmas. But as he said, as a professional, it's too early to call. And he didn't want to make that prediction.
What we need to do
What?
is tomorrow, you need to look up, there's a website you can go on there.
Yeah.
And it shows the chances of getting snow through the whole United States. And we need to follow that up till Christmas to see how that changes.
Yeah,
to see how
okay.
It'd be pretty cool. I mean, and they're doing it now. They're predicting it now. You've got an X amount % of a chance to.
Well,
so
I
it'd
saw,
be pretty cool to
I saw
start
one of
that.
the models Sunday or Monday, it's on the computer. And it said that this area, you know, from Branson to Poplar Bluff, about Harrison, Mountain Home, Jonesboro, could get a little skiff of snow coming through around the 24th, 25th, 26th.
So it'd be nice to have a little bit around Christmas, kind of make it a little wide out here. What's scary is when they say, "Oh, it's just going to be a dusting,"
Oh, yeah. And
because
then
you never get the dustings.
No. Well, I went to see, this is 100 years ago. I think it was 1978, 1979, something like this. It was like 55 degrees here in Arkansas, and I had the weekend off. I was going to see my grandparents in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, only 120, 130 miles from here. Got there on a Friday evening. It was still 52 degrees on that Friday night, the middle of late February. Saturday, we did some things in town. I helped my grandfather around the house, nice weather. And their main TV station up there was KFVS Channel 12 out of Cape Girardeau. We're sitting there watching the weather at 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, and said a skiff of snow predicted for the Channel 12 listening area. Okay? I'm thinking you could probably still see the grass through the snow. Sunday morning, there was 18 inches on the ground.
Well,
Right there, it was at the Cane Creek Bridges on Highway 67 where they live, just north of Cane Creek Bridges there on Highway 67. 18 inches of snow. By the time I left on Monday morning, by the time I got to the state line 17 miles south on 67, there was no snow. It just skirted the state line.
Same thing happened 2 years ago. I was going to a wrestling meet in Branson.
Oh, yeah,
And they were calling for a light dusting, so I'm like, I'll take my two-wheel drive
Blizzard!
truck. I ain't care. It was 2 foot of snow in Branson. Now, mind you, they don't own a snow truck. So we got trapped. I mean, I brought a two-wheel drive vehicle. We got trapped there. And let me tell you, from there to Harrison, once you got to about Harrison, it cleared right up. Once we finally got out of there, I spent 3 days. Snowed in at a hotel. Let me tell you how bad this was, because we had a restaurant in the hotel, which was good food. We had a indoor swimming pool, a video game room for the kids. It was tough. We had a fireplace in our little.
So you really suffered while you were away.
We suffered. I mean, and now I'm talking to my wife, trying to tell her how bad this really is.
She really felt sorry for you, didn't she?
But we did make it home. Everybody
it's like being stuck in Vegas and just happen to find a spare $100,000 laying around in the casino, right?
So be careful when they say dusting of snow.
Well, Scooter, why don't you take us to break so we can bring our guest on? And in fact, I'm low on coffee.
Never fails every time. We'll be right back.
I'm on cup number 1. I got to have cup number 2. Be right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, And they also send me a report after all the work is done, so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Coming in 2018, VHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and Steadyform. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range, coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon.
They said, I'm not ready to move. I'm not ready for such a change. I'm not ready to give up my independence. Then, after receiving a lot of love and encouragement, they moved to the Good Samaritan Society. They said, I should have done it years ago.
Senior care and services from the Good Samaritan Society.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
Hello.
It is 7:18 on this Wednesday morning, December 13th, 2017. I want to welcome to our studio Charles Lewis. How do you pronounce that again? Naturopath? Naturopath, okay.
Naturopath.
And we talked, in fact, we were still building the set, Scooter. You were still building the set and getting things wired when we talked to Dr. Lewis about being on the show here in December. So this has been going on for about 2 months. We finally got him here. And I'm going to give him as much time as possible. We got several different subjects to start on, and welcome. It's good to have you.
Well, thank you very much. And Dale and Jerry and Scooter, thanks for having me. It's by the way, congratulations on your new show.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's I think it's been really good for the community, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Glad to have you.
So what's first? We've got a nice silver coin here and a lot of information. I got a little brochure called Simply Your Health, and we've got a lot of subjects here to talk about in the next 40 minutes. So what's part one?
Well, part one, let's get rid of the shortest one, maybe. What I'd like to introduce the community to is UPMA.org. UPMA.org is the first financial institution outside of the Federal Reserve System since the inception of the central bank. It is a repository for real money, and as such, anybody can in the United States belong to it. And everything's deposited and backed by gold and silver like it was supposed to be to start with. And you can join it without a Social Security number. This is the real bank that we are trying to get back to, and it was passed by law in the state of Utah, and it's the Legal Species Act that was passed. And so it allowed us to establish a bank. Now, we've had it for a few years, but grand opening in the building that just finished was done in September. And it's in Utah, and it's can't disclose to you how much there is in deposits, but it's in the millions. And it is literally a fine. We don't like to call it a bank because the Federal Reserve gets kind of cranky. So but we operate outside the Federal Reserve. And if you want to go grocery shopping, if you want to go get gasoline, you just call them up and have them move however much you want onto your ATM card, which is not required to have a bank. In other words, this is a service company with ATM services, the little card, you know, and there's no requirement to have a bank anywhere. So you just get the card. It's a one-time fee of about $20. You get that set up, and then you call them up, and we're soon going to be operating so that you can go in the back office of your account and move over however much you want, go shopping. In the meantime, if you're dealing business with somebody that's a member, you just move your real money back and forth, member to member, without even going into Federal Reserve notes.
Here on the little brochure, the Utah Legal Tender Act, HB 317, is designed to reinstate, excuse me, to reinstate gold and silver coin as optional medium of exchange in Utah intrastate commerce. Grounded in long-standing principles enshrined in the supreme law of the land, the statute addresses current, pressing monetary issues in modern American society, issues to which gold and silver coin solutions are uniquely suited.
It is it's an effort to bring back a financial stability. It of course doesn't do fractional reserve. It's not fractional. It's not a reserve. And one of the things people wonder about is, hey, if you're converting our Federal Reserve notes into gold and silver to be put on deposit, and I want my Federal Reserve notes back, there's no buy-sell spread. We're not making profit, or I should say they. I'm just on the board, and I'm not paid for that. But what we do is we don't offer gold on deposit and then turn around and sell it to you and make a profit off that. There's not a profit to be made at the sale of gold and silver. This is a institution to establish a banking system, if you want to call it that. That was what we were supposed to have all along. And this is the first time in over 100 years, however long the Fed's been in place now, that we've had something like this. And it's backed by the state of Utah, the laws of the state, in fact, the laws of the nation, and it's been promoted and talked about by the Attorney General in the state of Utah. So this is not a small group of people that have established some kind of, warehouse for your money. That's not what this is. It's a financial institution.
Can I take that out of the little things? For
You bet. You bet.
I didn't know if we can touch that. This is one
No,
troy ounce. This is .999 pure silver.
That's a commemorative coin that
I'll
was.
hold that up.
That's a commemorative coin that was given to some of the
Wanna see it,
people
Jerry?
that were involved in it. Here, I'll.
Jerry, take a look at that.
This requires. It's real easy to open up an account. It's free. You just go join, set it up, move however much you want over, and there's a small fee monthly for the service, and that's it. That's all there is. And by the way, the state of Utah has passed a bill that allows people in the state of Utah to pay their taxes in gold or silver.
Really?
Yeah. So at least there's that state. Now we have that being followed up with a repository effort in Texas going on right now. So several states are moving this direction to try and bring, essentially we've lost our wealth because of the monetary system's abuse. And it's not been audited, but in our setting, you can, as a member, request an on-present audit. You can go look at the records anytime. This is very open. This is not some
This is
secret.
not this is not an Obamacare deal behind closed doors on Christmas Eve at 1 a.m.
More like a Bitcoin, isn't it?
It's
to a certain degree. I know not.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between a fiat currency like Bitcoin, our Federal Reserve note, and money. Money is defined in the United States in our Constitution as 1 ounce of silver, 999 fine silver, and then we have the gold pieces, but they're more than $1, of course.
You know, at one point I had a silver certificate dollar bill.
Yes.
Issue 1929.
Oh, really?
1930. I don't know whatever happened to that.
You know, I don't think they'd even honor it today. Even
Really?
though, certificate means I want some metal for my piece of paper.
Yeah, I remember it was a dollar bill, and it looked more, except silver certificate was marked on that dollar bill.
I think if you gave it to the Federal Reserve today, they'd probably go, what? I don't think you'd get any metal for it.
Huh.
Yeah, used to. All your money was supposed to be backed by gold.
It was supposed to be, hey, we've got this piece of paper. And by the way, we do have brochures, and if you contact Dale or somebody, or even us, we'll get you a little thing. But the best thing to do is go on the internet and whoop, sorry about that.
That's all right.
And it'll give you all the information. We've got all kinds of videos up. They're on the website to explain it and so forth.
How does the current situation with our monetary system through the Federal Reserve affect the value of each dollar?
The more that money is printed, let me explain devaluing our money by how much you print. So let's talk about our monetary system. All the cash that we're supposed to have for the United States is supposed to represent something. Since you can buy goods and services, it is worth all the goods, all the services in the United States. And let's say we had $1 for every state. In other words, we had 50, let's say. That would be, those $1 bills would be worth quite a bit, because they would represent 1/50th of all the goods, all the services in the United States. 1/50th. But now if we print another 100, just because we can print them for 7 cents a piece, we just double that. Now that money isn't worth 1/50th, it's worth half that, right? Mm-hmm. It's worth 1/100th of that. So whenever you print money, it dilutes its value. Now money cannot be, paper isn't worth anything but the paper unless you can get something for it. So let's say all you can get is candy and toys. It wouldn't be worth much. Well, maybe the kids would love it.
Yeah,
worth a lot to
you know,
kid,
for Christmas it'd be great,
Yeah.
you know. But if you don't get gas, if you don't get groceries, if you can't get essentials and you pay your taxes with it and so forth, it's not worth anything. So when they took the gold and silver away, they had to back it by something, and that's where we came up with, as you know, the petrodollar, which was backing the dollar bill with oil. Mm-hmm. So everything that was bought, say, in Saudi Arabian oil, every time they sold the oil, it had to be bought by and using U.S. dollars. And they're trying to, well, that's getting ready to change, and guess what's going to happen to the dollar if it's not? And why does that give it value? Because nations demand and use oil. And if the only way
so
they
that's
can,
why we went to trading it on the futures market.
Yeah, and so if you only way you can get it is to get some dollars, then you have to keep using dollars. That gives it value. But if you know all
because I can remember, Dr. Lewis, I can remember my dad had an outstanding job in St. Louis. He was a production planner at McDonnell Douglas Aircraft in St. Louis, and in those days making good money.
Yeah.
But I can remember my mom saying one night, $23 for groceries this week. We were a family of 5.
Oh, wow.
We had a nice car, a nice home, nice neighborhood. I mean, we didn't need really anything. I mean, we could have used several things here and there, but it was really nice. Can you imagine, Jerry, can you imagine going on a Friday night in Scooter and getting a week's worth of groceries for your entire family, 5 people, and spending $23?
I don't think I've ever went to the grocery store and only spent $23.
And I can remember my dad would carpool to save gas. We had a 65 Chrysler with a big engine. What did he get, 11, 12 miles per gallon? We don't even know. We didn't care. Gasoline was 23, 24, 25 cents a gallon. And I'll never forget my mom saying one time, you drive to work next week? Oh, yeah, I drive Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, you going to fill up? No, $5 will be enough. He drove 38 miles one way to work. That's 76 miles a day, minimum.
That's a lot of gas.
Times 3, you might as well say 300 miles minimum, and $5 was enough on a car getting 11, 12 miles per gallon. So how's that dollar change from that point where $23 for 8 bags of groceries and a full tank of gas? You're talking not even $30 in those days, in 1967, 68, 69.
They got off the gold standard.
Yeah,
that's right. When we went to the central banks, in the first 10 years, the dollar lost 90% of its buying power in the first 10 years. Now that ought to tell us something, right? The problem is that, you know, when they did this problem called the bailout in 2008, right? Many people thought they were bailing out our banks. Do you know this money was spent mostly outside the country in banks outside the U.S.? And it's because our monetary system is there for them. They're a private institution and a private corporation that are there for a profit on money.
AIG was one of the big ones.
Oh, yeah.
Chrysler, General Motors, AIG.
Right.
Who else was in there?
Big issues there, you know.
Sachs.
And and most of the money isn't even printed anymore. If the U.S. gets a $100 bill, so for example, it costs maybe now 10 cents. It used to be 7 to print it. Okay.
Well, I think they're 2.3 cents now to make a penny.
Okay. Yeah. So the bottom line is that something's kind of rotten in Denmark. You know, so what's going on? We've lost it. We've lost our control of our monetary system. This is an attempt to give us real, honest money.
And with that, we need to take a quick break. Scooter?
We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home. Your White River getaway starts at Cotter Trout Lodge, where you find convenient, clean, and affordable accommodations right in the heart of Cotter, Arkansas. Take advantage of the Natural State Fly Shop across the road for all your supplies and guided fly fishing needs. Countless delicious homemade menu options await to satisfy your hunger cravings at the White Sands Cafe. Your complete White River getaway is cradled in the east arm of the historic Ruthven Rainbow Bridge at the Cotter Trout Lodge, Natural State Fly Shop, and the White Sands Cafe.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
More
It is 7:35 on this Wednesday morning. We hope your Wednesday morning's off to a great start. We're visiting with Charles Lewis, and I'll try to say that naturopath.
Naturopath.
Good, I got it right.
Naturopath.
Hey, all right. Okay, that was a very interesting part one. What do you got for part two?
Well, I'd like to introduce the community to our business. We're new in the community. We've been here about a year now. And we are a drugless therapy clinic. I best could be, that's the best way I could describe it. Some people might call it alternative medicine. But I'm offering services in that we only do everything without drugs. We use no drugs whatsoever. Now, we don't diagnose disease and that sort of thing, but most people already know when they come in, I've got a headache, or I'm in pain, or the doctor's told me that I've got arthritis. How can I get better? You know, maybe something, maybe the drugs aren't working as well as they want and they need some help. So we have a lot of, I've been doing it for a long time, about, going on 30 years. And we're going to be taking on an intern next semester from the University of Missouri, by the way.
Really? At Columbia?
Yeah.
Good.
They're going to be, their majors in health science, but their specialty is genetics. And it fits real well with us because we do genetic testing in our clinic. So what that means is you might have, we don't test the doom and gloom genes like, are you going to die of cancer, are you going to have a heart attack, that type of thing. Well, we test our functions in the body like inflammatory processes, methylation, neurotransmitting, and stuff like that, that allows us to help that person figure out, first of all, number one, are they broken? Do they have a genetic defect? Is their digestion messed up because of genetics? Are they getting inflammation and aches and pains because it's genetically broken? Are they absorbing their nutrients? Because if you have no methylation process, now we can literally mathematically figure whether or not you're absorbing your nutrients, and we can go, okay, this is broken, this is broken, this is broken. You're only getting 30% of the nutrients that you're taking in. We can actually figure that out. But what happens is that many people are, say, constantly tired. And maybe it's because they can't absorb B12. Well, B12 may be not absorbed because they can't methylate it, and that's a process where the body absorbs it. And so we recommend that they get a methylated form of B12. And so we know now the rest of their life they're going to have this in order to get their Bs. So that's just one of the services, though, that we offer is the genetic testing. But we do about 55 right now. I think we're getting ready to jump it a little bit more. And our clinic is not just a naturopathic clinic. I'm a herbalist and I'm a homeopath. And I did, after I got my doctorate, I did 2 years of more studies with Dr. Rao out of the European Biological Medicine Network, and he's from Switzerland. And so we are part of a network of clinics. We're the newest one, and it's the European Biological Medicine Network, and I'm a member of the Biological Regulatory Medicine Institute. And everything that we do, we look at the body not as a problem uniquely as much as how well are you functioning. Let me kind of give you an example. The government gives you a minimum requirement for vitamin D. You got to have this much, right, on a daily basis. What that might mean is, oh, that's great, we get to know how much we have to have. No, that's how much you have to keep from being blind. That's not how much you have to have in order to have really good eyesight. Do you see the difference? Yeah. So the problem is that doctors are boxed in right today. If you get outside of this, say you get a blood test, and if you're still out inside, but really close to being outside, what do they say? Well, let's do a test in 6 months and see if you've got fill in the blank. Well, if you're moving that way, why wait, right? So what we do is say, hey, functional medicine, as we call it, doesn't wait till you get outside the box. We say you're past optimal. Let's start working on it now. But our hands aren't tied because we're not medical doctors. We're functional people. We're nutritionists. And we help augment the system, enhance that ability for it to go back into optimal operation without drugs. So it just depends on what we're testing, how we approach it. And of course, then we have all the other modalities. We have ways of assessing. We have functional tests. They go everywhere from saliva testing to really strange acupuncture type testing, what we call point testing, electrodermal testing, that sort of thing. So we have a whole dynamic with the assessment part, but then we also have everything. The main thing to think about is when we find out what we need and what's going on, we use drugless to mediate and help enhance the issue and correct it, help make it better.
Let me tell you a quick story before we take another break coming up here in a few minutes. Years ago, probably, 40 years ago, I was in my late teens, I guess. Sinus problems. My dad said, "Oh, here, take this. This is great stuff." Okay, so I took it on a regular basis. I was miserable. After about 6 or 7 weeks, I felt just like there was a wad right here, Oh no, I quit taking that. You need to take this. So I swapped sinus pills. I started taking this. And after that didn't work, oh no, you need to try that. Whoa, stop. I quit taking everything. Cleared up.
Mm-hmm. When we take now, we aren't subscribing to the fact that we need to get rid of medicine, okay? When I was a professor of pre-med and nursing up in Michigan, obviously was within the system, so to speak. But when we began to express options to the students, we didn't test them on it. We just exposed them to it. They became very interested. And of course, when you begin to do that, you don't make friends in the pharmaceutical industry at all. And the problem that we've got, and the reason I even got started in this is because my mother died of cancer. And so I was representing the company that I happened to be at before I changed careers, and represented that company at the American Cancer Society. And it was on the board where we gave out the money. And so we went through about 3 years, and in the third year, I heard some bad news from a vice president of the American Cancer Society. Now, we had been chasing the cure for that 3 years while I was on the board, saying, okay, the cure rate is here, and the growth rate's 1%, and we said, okay, close that up, or you don't get any money, basically. Well, then the third year it dropped, and the cure rate was way down. It went to 5% or something like that. I can't remember, 3 or 4 or 5%. It dropped from the growth rate. And we're going, what's going on here? Particularly me, I was upset. And I was really upset. And the board said, okay, let's take a break. So I'm out in the hallway of the American Cancer Society, and one of the vice presidents came up to me and said, you look pretty upset. I said, I'm here because I want somebody else's mother not to die of cancer. In fact, my mother wasn't the first. I can remember when I was 6 years old, all of my family, I started marching into funerals at the age of 6, and she was like number 12 in my family to die of cancer. So I lost my whole family to cancer. And she was just, the needle on the haystack, so to speak. And he looked at me, this vice president, and said, you look pretty upset. I said, I am. I want this fixed. And he says, well, we don't have plans to cure cancer. Mm-mm. And I looked at him and I go, well, I couldn't believe it. What'd you say? He said, we don't have plans to cure cancer. Now, I was pretty upset. I was really upset, and I went back into the restroom just kind of going, I don't know how I feel. I don't know whether I should cry or punch the guy in the nose. You know, I was really upset. And I went out the door of the restroom and was getting ready to go in the boardroom again, and I just said, forget it. I didn't warn him. I just walked away. I just walked away, went to my company. Now, we'd grown this company from about 1,700 to 85,000 people. And I went over and quit and said, I'm going to do something about it. I quit my job, and eventually I moved through and eventually became a doctor. So the bottom line, though, is I've got story after story of research exposing options that work.
I just saw a video a couple days ago about a vegan diet working. There was a guy in Vegas, met a girl. He was a bartender. She was a cocktail waitress. After they got married, he was diagnosed with cancer. You've got no chance of survival. He's still alive. They got twin kids now living in Vegas. And he changed his diet. He changed his lifestyle.
There are multiple ways of enhancing your life when it comes to health. Now, there's no stopping death, right? But it doesn't mean we have to, at the last 15, 20 years, suffer with whatever.
Right.
We can have a fuller life. We're not at that point, and I don't know that we should be playing God with genetics, you know.
I'll put my 2 cents worth in on this. Disease is a moneymaker.
Oh, it is.
It sells a lot of pills.
Oh, yeah, by far.
It sells a lot of pills.
Yep.
You know. With that, we'll take a break. More with Dr. Lewis after this.
Be right back.
Just propane, Reeves Propane provides you full-service propane delivery as well as tank and piping installation. We are your dependable choice, offering the very best in personal service with on-time deliveries and competitive prices. Reeves Propane also sells and installs tankless water heaters and appliances and can even convert your gas cook stove to liquid propane. So no need to fuss and cuss about bad service. Call us at Reeves Propane. We greatly appreciate your business, and God bless.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment, their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Coming in 2000.
7:48 on this Wednesday, final section of Down on the Corner. This December 13th, visiting with Dr. Lewis, and now we're up to part 3.
Wow, it's going fast.
It goes by fast, doesn't it?
Oh, I guess so. It's, you know, I have so much I could, talk about. I don't really know where to begin. But one of the things maybe I should say, though, is we have the potential in this nation to have the most wonderful medical system in the world if we do it right. Obviously, if you get splattered all over the freeway, you don't come to me. I'm not a surgeon. You want to go to the hospital, get those drugs to kill the pain, get put back together.
Yeah.
But after you've been put back together, you don't need Jell-O to get well, which is horse hooves, red dye number 5, artificial flavors, and sugar. That's not going to nourish you. You know, what needs to happen is we need to integrate these systems, and you get well quicker. We can get people well. For example, why aren't they putting a vitamin C drip in your IV when you're healing? You could heal quicker. Well, I guess it might be money. That's cheap to do. You don't get to spend as much time in the hospital, do you? And since the insurance companies aren't going to pay for it, and at least at this point they're not looking at that and saying, why aren't you putting vitamin C drip and getting them out sooner? Well, they'll do it if they don't have to. They don't want to get you out sooner. The problem, I think, today, and let's give the doctors a break, is that the system is broken, and doctors that really want to help people are having trouble helping people.
Yeah.
If you know, in fact, who was the fellow that was the medical director during the Reagan administration? He's the one that
Sievert Koop?
Not him.
He was Surgeon General.
Yeah. This guy was Michael something. Anyway, he was. I don't remember. He just put out a report saying that if you're on Obamacare, you're likely to be sicker than if you have no health insurance at all, and that's the actual facts right now. And it's because when you go get help, they'll only do so much that comes short of fixing a problem. It's and if you go into a doctor's office now with the medical system you have, you better tell them everything before you go in you're going for, because, oh, by the way, if I forgot to tell you, well, you got to come back, and that's how the system works. The system's broke. It's so broke. And my opinion is we just need to get rid of it completely. I mean, socialism, it doesn't fit in a republic. Socialism isn't what we were supposed to have here.
Well, and then you look, I've got some relatives here in Arkansas, healthy people, early 50s, $1,900 a month in health insurance.
Oh, there is a fellow that's a family of four. He was paying $3,000 a month, in this new system it's going to be $3,500 a month and a $9,000 deductible. Well, this guy, now, if it's a mandate to have, he can't even pay the bill. And he's supposed to, by law. Well, I think we were tricked into it, don't you, when they said, oh, by the way, this is a tax. I mean, where'd that come from?
Money.
But the bottom line is, in our clinic setting, we have alternative, real answers to problems. They really work. And we have our limits too, but the side effects are virtually nil. I mean, if you were like to take, for example, we were talking about vitamin C. If you're taking it orally and you take too much, the side effect's diarrhea.
Oops.
So you just quit taking that.
Well, I want to ask you, what about go out and buy a bottle of Tylenol tablets? May cause liver damage.
Well, it will cause liver damage. Tylenol, okay, if you sprained your ankle and you take ibuprofen for 3 or 4 or 5 days, fine. Chronic inflammation of that liver is going to occur, and you're going to have horrible side effects with those kind of over-the-counter drugs. They are horrid. In fact, they actually will cause inflammation over the long term and damage. Damage almost hard to repair, almost completely impossible to repair. Besides that, if a person's been on it for a long time, they come into my office and they say, I've got blood in my stool. And guess what it's from? Ibuprofen. So the problem isn't, and I could probably get into a lot of trouble here, but it's not the first time. When I was the professor, I was teaching the honors program in Michigan to med students that were in the top 5% of their class in 5 states were coming to the program. And I wrote a paper while I was there called "The Broken Model of the Existing Medicine System." Medical system. It is broken.
Well, Dr. Lewis, I remember you go back into the, I'm going to say, early to mid 60s. I remember a Bufferin. Remember Bufferin?
Oh, yeah.
There was a commercial, and a girl says, "Hey, Joe, you got my Bufferin?" "Oh, well, I gave it to Andy. He's got a sore elbow from pitching." "Well, Andy, where's my Bufferin?" "Well, I gave it to Nancy. She hurt her knee." They're passing the Bufferin. It's like, we can't have a little bit of discomfort. We got to pass the buffering bottle. You had Doan's pills, Carter's pills, liver pills, back pills, anise and Dristan. If you couldn't swallow it, sniff it, you know.
Well, it's, you know where aspirin came from. There was a fellow that came over historically a long time ago, got a headache on an expedition, and some Indian reached over and got some white willow bark, scraped it off, and gave it to this guy by the name of Frederick, and it was white, and he got rid of his headache. He had a horrible headache. And
So
Frederick...
how'd they come up with the salicylic acid?
That's right, that's it.
How'd they come up with that?
Well, it was off of white willow. And it was Frederick Bear, who was a biochemist from out of the country, of course, at that time. He was visiting. That was given this, and so it became Bear aspirin. And he was the one that got it from the Indian. So there are some...
So is the basics of aspirin a natural?
Yeah, the basic of it. See, here's the deal. Whenever these... I had a friend who's a doctor over in Oklahoma who's from Russia. And he does chelation therapy there at their clinic. And cleans out the bloodstream and so forth. And they asked him, a pharmaceutical company asked him, we've heard of a cure for cancer in Russia, and we'd like you to bring us over there, and we'd like to find out. He said no. And he said, only if I can get that and find it with you and use it on my partner who's got cancer right now. Well, he went over there and they found it, and it was natural, but the pharmaceutical couldn't figure out how to synthesize it and make it synthetic. So here's a remedy for cancer in the natural form, but since they couldn't make it into a drug, they don't even tell the
I've
world.
even heard that raw garlic.
Well, there's a lot of things.
Is that a theory?
No, there's a lot of things that enhance the ability of the body to be, first of all, your body is what heals itself.
Right.
We're not born short of aspirin, or we're not born short of Ritalin. Our body heals itself based on our ability to use what we put in our body. But if we don't have nutrients and we eat bad food, or if we're stressed a lot, and by the way, I'm going to tell everybody right now, stress is worse than junk food.
Really?
It's worse on you than junk food. That's how bad stress can be. Living in our digital world today, you know, our analog body is really pounded hard, and society is like at light speed, and our bodies are only made to be at, a real slow pace compared to the light speed that we're at. And so we get stressed on that, fast pace we're in.
How can folks that want to get in touch with you, Dr. Lewis, get in touch with you?
You can call us at Simply Your Health here in Mountain Home, and our phone number is 870-277-1172.
And let me put my glasses on here so I can read this thing. You're located at 1790 Highway 5 North, Suite 3 in Mountain Home, Arkansas.
You bet.
And so, final minute, what have we overlooked?
Well, nothing really, but there's a lot to be said. I just wanted to bring the attention to the community that we have something to offer, and maybe we've got an answer for you.
Jerry, your thoughts?
Like I say, it's just scratching the surface. I'm sure he could talk for hours. So thank you for coming on.
I appreciate
All right,
it.
once again, Dr. Lewis, 870-277-1172, location 1790 Highway 5 North, Suite 3 here in Mountain Home. Jerry, what do we got coming up? We got a sale going at Sears today, and of course, want to promote Jim Brown Company HVAC work. If you need any help with your heater today, give Jim Brown a call.
And Furniture Depot, they are a new sponsor, so get on out there and see them.
Yep. And Gil.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's Scooter. He changed.
I got a lot better looking.
Yeah. I wonder if he's listening. And I want to thank Gil Reynolds for allowing us to bring the Down on the Corner program over to XL7 TV. If you're not advertising here, you need to be. Right, Gil?
Amen.
Preach on, brother. That wraps it up, Gil. Take us home.
All right.
See you tomorrow.